Water, one of the most precious elements of the world, without which existence of life on Earth is merely impossible. Human beings have spread their race all over the planet, disregarding the geographical and biological limitations, extending their capacity of adaptation to its zenith. But the availability of water is not uniform all over the Earth, all throughout the year. Thus, with the elevating demand for existence and experiments, the need for fresh water increased. Hence, dams were built in order to limit the flow of water. The first known dam was built somewhere around 2950 to 2750 BC in ancient Egyptian civilization across the longest river Nile. Archaeologists have discovered many ancient dams across major rivers like Tigris, Euphrates, Ganges, and Yangtze in ancient civilizations of Mesopotamia, Indus Valley, and Chinese. With the evolution of science and inventions, the construction of dams also refined from simple to complex and multi-purpose dams, expanding its objectives from just water retention to flood control, power generation, navigation, and other recreation to improve tourism. As the Scottish philosopher David Hume said, avarice is the spur of industry. Man found the touch of Midas in building dams. His obstinate passion to acquire better profit from this led him to build a dam across any flowing freshwater body on earth. He forgot that all good things come to an end. He has no clue about the amount of destruction he has caused on nature. Over a period of time, the over-construction of dams have hampered the ecosystem, leading to the extinction of several species. In fact, the destruction has gone to the extent of backfiring on Homo sapiens, as they have to be relocated for every other reason all around the year due to natural disasters like hurricane, flood, encroachment of sea over land, and the destruction of deltas, dangerously affecting the biological system of our planet. Kerala has over 57 dams across 44 rivers. Dams are huge man-made structures that act as barriers on a river. Today, the main reason people build dams is to produce electricity. They are also built to restrict and control the flow of water in river. Throughout history, dams have been used to prevent flooding and to irrigate farmland. They also make water easier to access, especially in desert-like areas where water is in low supply. There are, however, some negative effects of damming rivers. Many people's homes are knocked down to make space for the dam, and flooding can occur in the reservoirs, which is the area behind the dam where water is collected. This can cause valuable farmland to become submerged under the lake.
Historical perspectives of dams. Features of early dams. The early dams were usually made of earth, wood, or stones. The dams were not complex as the modern dams, so they did not provide the said features of dams. The early dams were mostly used for prevention of flood, for water retention, to fulfill humans' needs, and for the irrigation of crops. In some region, it was used to divert the flow of water bodies. The first known dam was built in the ancient Egyptian civilization. Archaeologists discovered many dams near Mesopotamia and Middle East. The Java Dam. It was built around 3000 BC. It was a gravity dam of 9 meter high and had a width of 1 meter. It was located in Mesopotamia. It was a well-designed and constructed dam compared to the other ancient dams. It created the Java Reservoir that had a capacity of 1.1 million cubic feet. Later, it was damaged due to physical intervention before a few years. Sad al Kafara. It was built between 2750 BC and 2950 BC. It is a gravity dam of 37 feet tall, 348 feet wide at the crest and 265 feet wide at the bottom. It was made by Egyptian. Its outside was made up of rubble masonry wall and inside it was filled with 1 lakh tons of gravel and stones. They also used limestone cover to resist soil erosion. In Arabic, Sad al Kafara means dams of the pagans. Regrettably, it was washed away during the heavy rains. The Quadina Barrage or the Lake Holmes Dam. It was built around 1319 and 1304. It is the oldest operational dam in the world. It is a masonry gravity dam of 7 meter high and base of width 20 meter. It is located in Syria. It was constructed during the reign of Egyptian Pharaoh Seti. It expanded during the Roman period 1934 and 1938. It impounds the Orontes River and creates Lake Holmes. It was to supply water for the city of Homs through canals. The Kallanai Dam or the Grand Anicut. It is the oldest dam in India and the 4th oldest dam in the world. It is about 329 meter in length, 20 meter wide and has a height of 5.4 meter. It is located in the Tanjavur district of Tamil Nadu. Kallanai was originally built by the king Karikalan of Chola dynasty around 100 BC and 100 AD. In the 19th century, it was remodeled by the British. It was built to divert the river to improve the irrigation of the delta region. It is an operational dam that still helps the farmers for irrigation. Advantages of dams. The first and foremost advantage of dam is that it is the main source of power generation. Hydraulic power is made when water passes through dams. Dams or reservoirs also serve as a flexible source of electricity. Dams store water and thus they help in preventing floods. Dams control floods because water can be stored in them. These projects have converted many rivers of sorrow into rivers of boom. Dams and waterways store and provide water for irrigation, so farmers can use these waters for growing crops. In addition to helping farmers, dams help in preventing the loss of life and property caused by flooding. Since the water stored in dams is fresh water, it can also be used as drinking water in nearby towns and cities. There is always supply of water because we hold water in reservoirs. For this, we need dams. The dams are the main source of irrigation and also help in conserving soil. Dams provide water for industrial and domestic purposes. It also helps in inland navigation. Dams provide a wonder opportunity for recreation. Thus, construction of dam is necessary for multifarious development of the community.
Disadvantages of dams. Cost of construction is very high. For example, Idukki Dam was completed in 2 phases at a cost of 220 crores. Sometimes it takes decades for construction of dams. High standard materials are required to build dams. Regular maintenance of dams are necessary. An appropriate operation mechanism of dam as per defined protocols with maintenance is essential for controlling the aging processes that may diminish the safety and shorten the service life. Relocation of people living in the surrounding areas of dams, hence loss of farms and lands. The flow of river water is disturbed and may disturb the habitat of wildlife. Risk of flood if dams break by earthquake. The living environment of animals and fishes will be destroyed in the lower course.
Idukki Dam.
The Idukki Dam is a double curvature arch dam constructed across the Periyar River in a narrow gorge between two granite hills locally known as Kuravan and Kuratti in Kerala, India, at 168.91 meters. It is one of the highest arch dams in Asia. It is constructed and owned by the Kerala State Electricity Board. It supports a 780 MW hydroelectric power station in Moolammattam, which started generating power on 4th October 1975. The dam type is a concrete double curvature parabolic thin arch dam.
Chamban Kolumban, the Adivasi leader who discovered the site of the Idukki Dam. Kolumban had identified the ideal spot for a dam when he found the Periyar River flowing between the Kuravan and the Kuratti hills.
Neyyar Dam. The Neyyar Dam, located in the Trivandrum district of Kerala, is a paradise for nature lovers. Neyyar Dam is a gravity dam on the Neyyar River. It was located on the foot of the Western Ghats about 30 km from Tirunelveli. It was established in 1958 and is a popular picnic spot. Lying against the southern low hills of the Western Ghats, Neyyar Dam has a scenic lake. The dam was built in the land given by an agriculturist known as Karuvachil Krishan Panikar. The dam is built on the Neyyar River and boasts the presence of a wide variety of flora and fauna. Wildlife includes sloth bear, jungle cat, wild elephants, and etc. The Neyyar Dam is rubble masonry gravity type dam with a height of 56 meter and length of 295 meter.
Malampuzha Dam is the largest dam and reservoir in Kerala, located near Palakkad in the state of Kerala in South India, built post-independence by the then Madras state. The dam project was begun in 1949 and completed in 1955. Foundation stone for the project was laid on 27 March 1949 by the then Public Works Minister of Madras State, Sri M. Bhaktavasalam. The dam is 355 feet high and crosses the Malampuzha River, a tributary of Bharatapuzha, Kerala's second longest river. There is a network of two canal systems that serve the dam's reservoir of 42,090 hectares. The total capacity of Malampuzha Dam is 226 million cubic meters.
Now that we have seen the advantages and disadvantages of dams in general and in particular the above mentioned dams of Kerala, it is testimonial that any manipulation in large scale would hamper the ecosystem of our nature. For electricity, it would be preferable to see countries use tidal electricity, solar and wind electricity, and if such options are inadequate, dams as an example, only river tributaries. For irrigation though, dams are unfortunately hard to beat. One thing you can do is put more emphasis on groundwater, but the trouble with that is that all over the world, whether in China, India or California, we are not managing our groundwater properly. We are just drawing it down and we are not recharging it. It is going to be a major problem in agricultural areas like Central California. Late developing countries are seeing rapid population increases. Egypt's population is just soaring, but the countries upstream of Egypt also have growing populations and they want more of the Nile, so they are building their own dams. The Ethiopians have just built a large dam on the Blue Nile, which will reduce the water coming into Egypt. Let us save and restore natural resources for the coexistence among all living things.